Okay, I got an email from somebody that wanted me to comment on a particular study that's out there. I want to read this initial because it's kind of a neat little story here. So it says, "Dear Doc Baker, I'm an avid fan, 66 years old, and been doing carnivore with intermittent fasting for the last 3 years. My results have been absolutely outstanding. I've lost 53 pounds down to 200 pounds from 253. Distended belly button has returned to normal. My A1C is down to 5.4 from 6.4. My joint pain has eliminated. Acid reflux eliminated. Needed a Tums every day, but now nothing. Snoring eliminated. Blood pressure down to 130 over 85 from 165 over 100. Psoriasis greatly improved. Injected Enbrel once a week for 20 years, and now completely off any meds. My waist is down to 36 from 44. Constant hunger gone. 24 hours without eating is a cakewalk, and it happens often when I get busy. And the Dupuytren's in my hand has greatly improved. If you guys don't know what Dupuytren's is a contracture. It's a build up of scar tissue, usually in this sort of ulnar aspect of the hand, and it causes the fingers to contract down. So that's pretty interesting. My only regret is not knowing about carnivore sooner. I thought my aches and pains were just a result of getting older and believed my mother when she said we need vegetables and that sugar was just empty calories, not harmful. I greatly appreciate your very informative videos and was wondering if you might comment or do a video short on the following article I found." And so he links the article from Newsmax. And this is the article is called "Skipping Meals Linked to Heart Disease and Premature Death." And so the premise of the article is they looked at a relatively large population, and they found that people that listed that they ate less than 3 meals a day, 2 meals a day, 1 meal a day, had a higher rate of death, earlier rate of death than others that did not. Now the rub to this is the people that listed they ate less frequently were more likely to smoke, more likely to drink, more likely to be impoverished. They tended to be more likely to be black, and they also tend to have more food insecurity. So they were basically kind of poor and starving, more or less. And they say, well, we can control for that, and it doesn't matter. It still is an issue. And then they go on to say that they looked at it, and they thought is because if you eat a big meal, then you're going to have metabolic disturbances, high blood glucose after that large meal. And that's going to lead to, obvious damage down the road. Now, they go on to comment that the U.S. Dietary Guidelines did not recommend meal frequency because there's no evidence, in a wider body of evidence that is an issue. Now, what I will say is that if you are gorging on Little Debbie snack cakes or whatever, the cheapest food you can get at Walmart, if you're basically poor and you're living on that stuff and you just gorge on big boluses of probably refined carbohydrates, perhaps there's an effect. But I think for you folks that are eating whole food, clean diets, meat-based diets, this probably has minimal to no effect. In fact, it's probably the opposite. I think that's something we see. I see if I look at people's CGM readings that are on, say, meat-based diets, there's no big glucose spikes, no matter if they eat a big meal, and most of them eat about twice a day. So I think that story is context-based. I think it is probably, again, if you're eating the standard American diet, gosh, and if you're poor and particularly if you're eating mostly processed food, that's probably the bigger issue there. So anyway, thanks for the question. He goes on to say he's a retired airline pilot, and I'll tell you what, I want to make a video of this next. It's from Canada. It's shocking, absolutely shocking stuff. You guys want to watch that one. We'll put that up in a couple hours. So anyway, you guys have a great morning. We'll talk to you soon.